Happy Saturday. Let's find a comfortable seat to start. Lots of things going on in the world today. Let's just take a moment to ground ourselves in a posture that connects you to what you're sitting on as you lift up through the center of your spine. And either rest your hands on your lap or place the left hand on your heart and the right hand on your lower belly. Maybe closing your eyes to help direct your attention inward. As your awareness lands on your breathing, just the natural breath. Observing how you're feeling in body, mind, emotions. Allowing whatever needs to be known to you within the self to receive your compassionate awareness. Allow the breath in more slowly. And with a whisper out through the mouth. Easing the breath into fullness. Pause at the top of that breath. And gently let it go through the mouth. Pausing at the bottom at emptiness. Try that a couple of times where you hold the breath in and hold the breath out. And just observe the feeling in both ends, as well as the transitions between. Appreciating all aspects of something so simple yet vital as your breath. Knowing that without the exhalation, there can be no inhalation, and vice versa. Which leads us to the idea of duality and union. The practice of yoga, as many of you know, is not simply physical, working on postures in the body and alignments. That's nearly one of the 8 limbs or ways of practicing yoga. And one limb of yoga is the practice of self-study, not only reading about and learning from spiritual teachers, learning mindfulness practices to bring into our world, but study of ourselves, study of our minds, yes, our bodies as well, and our breathing, but what goes on in the mind? In many of the days of our recent practice, we've been talking about patterns in the mind, some transmitted even from our ancestors, from our parents. They become so embedded that they are an unconscious influencer of our daily thoughts, habits of doing, and interacting with each other. And the more that we practice mindfulness in the way we move the body and align it physically through yoga, but also in meditation, which is part of yoga, watching our minds, but then transferring all of that practice within this hour into how we move in the world and how we be in the world, how we are. Eckhart Tolle, wonderful teacher, author of Power of No, said that all problems are illusions of the mind. That's a bold statement, but can we narrow it down and see how our belief systems and even begin to peel those unconscious layers that influence our doings can actually be seeds of suffering sometimes. Thich Nhat Hanh, Zen master, says we are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. The illusion of our separateness. Albert Einstein said our separation from each other is an optical illusion of consciousness. As we watch our minds with a sense of care and even compassion to ourselves, we can see when illusion affects our perception of what is. Even in our physical bodies, how we might sometimes detach ourselves because there's pain or tension in the lower back and say, oh, it's a bad back. It's not part of me, it's separate. Can we embrace all of that, even the discomfort, even the not so beautiful looking parts, apparently? And as we do that within ourselves, and we increase our capacity to see others with a sense of non-separateness, or rather union. So let's build that capacity to unify within ourselves as we strengthen our capacity to unify with each other beyond the apparent boundaries of skin color or religious beliefs or opinions, whatever they might be. As we join the hands together at the heart, connecting to center. What's your intention for this practice today? With what inspirational thought or positive affirmation might you be guiding the lens to view the rest of your day and to affect your interactions? Let's open with the sound of Om, as it represents how we are constantly affecting each other, being parts of a greater whole. Take a deep breath. Breathing in, fill your lungs, your belly, lifting the heart, closing the lips, breathe out, a gentle whisper through the nose, consciously sustaining and balancing the breath as you build warmth in your body. Using this mindful technique of breathing called Ujjayi Pranayama, let's start to flow to the breath. Gently open your eyes and gradually make your way up to stand in mountain pose, also called Samastitihi, which is Sanskrit for equal standing posture. So feel the equal weight on both feet as you spread your toes and evenly disperse the weight through the four corners of each foot. And as you actively root down into the earth, feel a lift up as you engage the muscles in the front of the legs, the belly, broadening the chest up, lifting the heart, lifting the crown. Then as you exhale, allow the shoulder blades to melt down the back ribs, the tailbone to anchor downward towards the earth between the heels. Feel the cycles of the breath. And inhale, raise the arms overhead, gazing up as your palms touch. Hinge at the hips and perhaps bend the knees a lot to start as you exhale to bow towards yourself, towards Mother Earth. Pressing the ground of your legs. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen your spine forward. Feel the firmness in the abdomen here. Exhale, plant your hands on the floor and step into plank, and let's hold for 3 to 5 breaths. Whether your knees are on the ground or your legs are actively straight, stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. Spread the fingers and root down through the palms. Slide the shoulders away from the neck as you look at the floor ahead. And with a slow exhalation, glide forward, then bend the elbows back and feel them hug your side ribs as you pass through halfway down in Chaturanga Dandasana, then all the way down, trying to lower chest and belly at the same time. Pointing your toes, feel every toenail firming against the earth. Also root down through your pubic bone. Then coiling your chest off the ground, soften the shoulders down and lengthen the back of your neck. As you look on the ground ahead, let's take 3 breaths in Cobra. So feel how rooted your feet and pelvis are as you lengthen the tailbone actively towards the space between your heels, lifting the heart without tension in the neck. Then pressing down to your hands, tuck the toes behind, and lift up to your version of plank. Then lift the tailbone high, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths if you want to shift around for a moment, like pedaling your feet to warm up the backs of your legs, softly shaking or nodding your head to relax your neck. Feel the depth of the inhalation. Match the release of the exhalation in length, cultivating balance in the breath, affecting a state of balance or equanimity in the mind. As you spread the thumbs flat, root down through the index fingers and bend your knees a lot so that you can lift your hips truly high as you draw your weight towards the rear of your mat. Firm the belly against the back and wrap the triceps towards the ground. Taking one more breath here, finding the fullest length of your spine as you relax the neck. Then bend your knees, lift your heels and hips. At the end of your exhalation, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Breathe in, press through the hands and lift the heart, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold in. Firm down through your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, rising, palms touch. Exhale, connect to your heart center. Let's flow more continuously as we energize. Inhale, sweep the space around you. Exhale, dive in towards the earth. Inhale, press, lift your heart, look forward. Either step to plank or lightly float back to Chaturanga Dandasana, making your way down either to Cobra or upward facing dog as you breathe in. Feel the strength of your legs. Then engage the belly to lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Giving yourself 3 to 5 breaths. Allowing space. Let's go for one more cycle here. As you're ready, bend your knees, look in front of your hands. End of your exhalation, lightly land at the top. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, rise up, palms touch. Exhale to your heart center. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukhasana. Exhale to Adho Mukhasana. Let's take another few breaths in downward facing dog. So we start to connect with the center, literally right below the belly button a bit more. Step your feet together here in downward facing dog so your feet touch. Spread your fingers wide, using the entire surface area of each palm to root into the earth. Draw the triceps towards the ground, broadening the shoulder blades across the upper back, and lengthen the sides of your neck. Firming the belly in, breathe in to glide forward into a full plank so your shoulders land right on top of your wrists as you gaze ahead of your hands on the ground. Keep lifting the lower belly. Slightly dome the space between the shoulder blades without completely rounding your back. Firm the heels back as they stack just above the balls of your feet, engaging the front of your thighs. Think mountain pose, creating a strong line of energy from the crown of your head, down your tailbone, down to your heels. Maintaining that line, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Flexing your left foot, step the right foot on the right edge of your mat, facing the right up the middle, so it's right in front of you. Press down to your right foot, Left hand, outer edge of your left foot, and raise the right arm up towards the sky. And you are in modified Vashisthasana, side plank. Let's take at least 3 more breaths. So can you use your connection to the earth to feel uplifted and even a little lighter here? Rather than sinking into the ground through the left hand, rebound your weight off the ground and feel the rise of your left hip. Feel the right wrist stack above the left. Take 1 more breath in. Sweep the top arm overhead. Slowly lower the right hand. Step back to downward dog or take a moment in child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out, noticing how perhaps your breath may have been affected. Now let's bring that consciousness of steady breathing into the second side. From downward dog, step your feet together to touch. Wrap the outer upper arms towards the floor, securing the shoulder blades wide across your upper back. Inhale, shift forward into a full plank, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and firming the heels back. Feel mountain pose within this. Roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, flexing it. Then step the left foot on the left edge of your mat, facing the left. Press down to the left foot, right palm, and outer right foot, reaching the left arm towards the sky. Can you feel the simultaneous rooting down and rising up? Lifting the right hip, 2 shoulders, 2 wrists, stack in 1 line. Take another breath. Sweep the top arm overhead. Lowering both hands to the floor. This time, pivot the feet to face the front of your mat and walk up into a standing forward fold. Let your feet come together to touch and sweep the arms overhead as you breathe in to rise all the way up, mountain pose. We're going to take a different flow now, establishing the route in a semi-flow before we move more continuously. So with your feet touching, bend your knees to touch into chair, Utkatasana, for a few breaths. If you're looking for more rigor, you could graze the floor with your fingertips and try keeping the hips set low. Glide your shin bones back so that you're able to see your toes from where you are. Then look forward. Take another breath in. Exhale, shift forward to fold. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen forward. Step back to lower into your vinyasa or jump back if that's part of your practice. Remember, you can always change this up as you respond to the changing needs of your body. Arriving in downward dog, keep your 2 hips leveled. Inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the right knee towards your nose. Feel the belly lift to lightly step the foot forward into a high lunge. Feet hips width apart, parallel. Bend the front knee just over the heel and from down through your feet to slowly rise into crescent pose. Now by bending your left knee, draw your tailbone downward. Lift your frontal hip bone slightly in a feeling of containing your center rather than spilling it forward. The energy rooting down through the legs and rising up to the center of your spine, even up to your fingertips. Can you soften any edges here that might start to maybe feel a little hardened from focus, from concentrating? Take another breath in. Turning to your left, exhale to warrior 2. Spin the back heel down. Align the right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot and turn your chest completely to face the left side, left wall, as you open the arms, stacking your wrists above your ankles. Now steady your gaze. Just past the right hand or maybe inward, eyes closed, for a couple more breaths. Feel your right outer hip wrap underneath your body through the turnout of your right leg as you firm the top of your left thigh bone back with a slight turn in of your left leg. Now straightening both legs, engage the fronts of your thighs. Flip the right palm up and lift the sides of your waist. Sweep the right arm overhead towards the rear of your mat into reverse triangle pose. Left hand lands lightly on the left leg as you open up the right side of your body. Sending your breath a little deeper into the right ribs. Allow the shoulders to relax. while the belly firms in to support the back. One more in-breath. Sweep the right arm in front of your torso as you land 2 hands on the ground in front, entering plank. Whether you choose to take a full-on vinyasa, maybe with the rigor of lifting the right leg as you lower, or cat-cow, or none of that, change it up as you need. We'll meet in downward facing. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Second side. Keep your 2 hips leveled. Inhale, raise your left leg. Bend the knee towards your nose as you exhale. Softly land the foot into a high lunge. Feet are hips width and parallel. Bend the front knee just over the heel and root down, rising as you feel the strength of your center. By bending the right knee, allow your tailbone to direct downward, lifting the frontal hip bones and orienting the bowl shape of your pelvis more upright as you square the hips forward. Feel the ease in your breath, finding balance of focus, strength, as well as softness and grace. Take another inhale in crescent lunge. Then turn to your right into warrior 2. Spin the right heel down, align the left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot, and turn your chest completely to face the right wall as you open the arms. Steady your gaze right away onto one spot, perhaps just past the left hand. Feel the breath in, equal the breath out. Left outer hip wraps under the body, top of the right thigh bone firms back. Full length of the spine, take one more in-breath. Root down to your feet, straighten the legs for reverse triangle. Lift up through the sides of your waist, then sweep the left palm up and overhead towards the rear of your mat. Landing the right hand gently on the right leg. Feel your balance supported by the equal weight on both feet and even the strength of your center, hugging belly towards spine. Shoulders relaxed. Into your left side body, take a deep in-breath. Exhale, sweep the left arm in front of your torso, landing in plank and down into your choice of vinyasa. You could also hold plank if you prefer that. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Again, use this stillness, this pause, to realign your mental focus to what you're dedicating your practice to today, as well as rebalancing and spacing out the breath to move with mindfulness. Now with bent knees, look in front of your hands, bottom of your out breath, lightly land at the top. Breathe in to lengthen halfway up. Exhale to fold, feet touch, knees touch. Inhale, sink the hips low in chair pose. Exhale, root down to rise up. All right, let's try the sequence twice and let the continuous flow build a momentum of steadiness of mind, where you can feel a sense of stillness within the constant motion because of your attention to breath. So go at your pace as much as you can. Use my voice as just reminders as you might need them. Here we go. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, step or float back into your vinyasa. Inhale as you lift the heart. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg, hips squared. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward to a lunge. Inhale, root down to rise, crescent pose. To your left, exhale, warrior 2. Straight legs, inhale, reverse triangle. Sweep the right arm in front, exhale through plank into your vinyasa. Inhale, float your heart up. Exhale, draw your tailbone up, downward dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward to lunge. Inhale, rise, feel your center. To your right, exhale, warrior 2. Straight legs, inhale, reverse triangle. Sweep the left arm in front, exhale through plank into your choice of flow. We'll meet for several breaths in downward facing dog. Allowing your mind to ride the rhythmic waves of your breath. At the end of this next exhalation, lightly land at the top of your mat, forward fold, with feet touching. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold, knees touching. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back, Utkatasana. Exhale to rise, Samasthiti. Last round. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen. Exhale, step or lightly jump back, Vinyasa. Inhale, float the heart up. Exhale, draw the hips back, downward dog. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, feel your center, land the foot in a high lunge. Exhale, rise slowly, crescent pose. To the left, exhale, warrior two. Straight legs, inhale, reverse triangle pose. Sweep the right arm, lower to flow. Breathe in, feel the heart rise. Breathe out, downward facing. Last side. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, center contained, step it forward to lunge. Inhale, rise, crescent pose. To your right, exhale, warrior two. Straight legs. Inhale, reverse triangle. Sweep the left arm. Exhale, down to the earth, flow. Feel the power of your peaceful breath to influence the energetic approach of your physical being. Breathe in. Breathe out. Re-steady. So before moving to the front of your mat, step your feet together. This might sound familiar. Let them touch. Spread the fingers. Wrap the triceps towards the earth. Stabilize the shoulder blades across the upper back. From the belly, contain your center, and inhale, glide forward into a horizontal mountain pose, also called plank. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, this time stacking both feet, unless you prefer to do the same as we did before, stepping the right foot in front of you. Raise the right arm and play with it for about 5 breaths of your choice. Maybe hover the right foot over the left. Maybe bend the right knee towards the belly, catching the knee, opening it, and coming into tree pose. However you want to play with it. Can you find a sense of lightheartedness, even if you fall? The ground's not too far. Turn it into a dance. And then as you're ready, sweep the right arm overhead. If you have tree in your legs and you want to play with a vinyasa with tree, you can lower through it. Otherwise, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in. Let it go. No need to compare what happens on the second side. Just tune into what your body needs with each breath. Bring your feet to touch, downward facing dog. Feel stability in your shoulders, spreading the shoulder blades onto your back ribs. Feel stability in your center as you inhale, shift forward into that horizontal mountain pose. Feel the strength and grace of mountain pose as you roll onto the outer edge of your right foot flexed. If you're stacking both feet, flex both feet and continue to connect tailbone towards inner heels. Maybe you step the left foot in front of you. Maybe you lift the left leg to hover. Maybe you bend the left knee towards the belly and turn it out, coming into tree. However you want to play with it. Have fun with your body. Using it as a tool to explore qualities that you might want to bring into your day. Courage, the ability to take a lighthearted risk. Enjoy yourself even within something that might be challenging. And then as you're ready, Whether you decide to lower through a vinyasa, maybe taking tree with you, or going straight to downward dog or taking child's pose. Let's take a few breaths where you choose to land. And if you feel the need to release some excess heat, take a big lion's breath or few, or flutter the lips. So now let's close that sequence that we were flowing through from downward facing. Bend your knees, look forward. Bottom of the exhalation, lightly land, both feet to touch at the top. Breathe in to lengthen forward. Breathe out to fold. Bend your knees to touch. Inhale, chair. All right, stay in chair for a moment and extend the arms forward. Imagine a wall behind your back that you're sliding gracefully down as you come down to sit on your mat. As soon as the pelvis meets the earth, whether the hands are on the ground, behind the legs, or forward, find boat Navasana. Lifting the spine tall, imagine you could lift your pelvic floor at the base of your spine, drawing the navel in and lifting it towards the heart. Point or flex your feet, knees bent or legs straight. Now visualize breathing into the very bottom of your spine, root center. Take a deep breath. Exhale, 7. Now under your belly button, both the lower back and front, inhale. Exhale, 6. Your solar plexus, upper belly and the back, inhale. Exhale, 5. Center of the chest, heart center, inhale. Exhale, 4. Center of your throat, breathe in. Exhale, 3. Right between the eyebrows, inhale. Exhale, 2. Above the crown of your head, last breath. Exhale, slowly step your feet on the ground and drop your knees wide apart. Celebrating for a few breaths in Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet to touch, like a prayer pose. Ground the sitting bones and lift your heart, open your throat. Take a deep breath, feel the full length of your spine. Bring it with you as you exhale to bow. Little by little, maybe you like to crawl the hands forward. Let's take about 3 more breaths here in bound angle pose. As you walk the hands closer to you, lead with your heart or your chest and breathe in to lift the spine. Take your hands to your outer thighs and draw your knees together, rounding into a ball, whether you catch the fronts of your shins or the backs of your thighs. Tuck your chin towards your chest and begin to rock and roll forward and back several times as you build momentum and massage up and down your back so that you can eventually come back to chair, where this whole thing started in the first place. Once you come back to chair, take a breath or few. Nice. It's a fun little ninja move. And then root down to your feet. Inhale to rise up. Now as you shift your weight onto your left foot, feel the left leg solid. The kneecap slightly lifts without locking. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Raise your right leg in front of you, flex the right foot, and feel your 2 hips like 2 ends of a seesaw rebalancing as you connect to your center. Steady your eyes, steady your breath. Now either hold your outer knee with your right hand. We're coming into hand to big toe pose. This is a modification if you want to keep the knee bent. If you want to start to straighten the right leg, bring your arm inside of it and clasp the big toe with your index or middle finger, or use a strap. Flexing the right foot, if you're straightening it, straighten it just the amount that you could rebalance the hips and still stack the 2 shoulders above the hips so the spine is upright. Then turn out your right leg and slowly begin to open it. Opening the left arm. Let it be more important that your spine stays upright and you can feel connection down the center line of your body, not tilting like this. So if you need to bend the knee a little or bring it a little more towards midline to adjust the spine, you do that. Last 3 breaths. You can add some challenge to balancing if you want it by looking towards your left thumb. Relax the shoulders. Feel peace through your breathing. Now as you look forward, bring the right leg in front. Switch hands, whether you bend the knee and use the left hand to catch the outer knee, or you catch the outer foot, keeping the leg straight. Use the right thumb and hook the right outer hip, drawing it down to rebalance the seesaw of your hips. Root down to your left foot and stand a little taller through the top of your head. Breathe in. Now at your waistline, begin to twist to your right. Keep flexing the right foot, engage the muscles in both legs. Breathe in, root down, and rise taller. Breathe out, continue to twist. If you like, you can reach the right arm behind you and start to look towards that thumb. Last 2 breaths. Feel the balance of your 2 hips as you balance your 2 shoulders above it. Now steady your gaze forward again. Flex the right foot. Think of lifting your pelvic floor as you raise the arms for 1 inhalation. Take a breath and slowly step it down. Nice work, everyone. Take a moment to shake it out, dance it out. Second time. So bring your feet to touch. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Feel the strength of your right leg as you root down through the 4 corners of the foot. Flex the left foot, catch the outer knee just in front of you. Balance your 2 hips. Feel the center strong and contained. Now either keep the knee bent or bring your arm inside of the leg and clasp your big toe, or use a strap, straightening the leg just to the degree that your shoulders can stay stacked above the hips and the spine is upright. Steady breathing. Turn out your left leg. Slowly open it and open your right arm. Just the amount that, again, you can keep the midline rooted and upright. Breathe in. Maybe look towards your right thumb. Breathe out. About 3 more breaths here in hand to big toe pose, or in Sanskrit, Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Soften the eyes, soften the face. Now direct your gaze forward again. Bring the left leg forward. Whether the knee is bent and you catch the outer knee with the right hand, or you catch the outer foot, use the left thumb and hook the left outer hip downward, rebalancing the pelvis. Root down through your standing foot, rise up through the spine as you breathe in. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, root down, stand tall. Exhale, deepen the twist. Maybe reach the left arm behind you. Maybe look at your left thumb. Couple more breaths here. Wringing out the spine and releasing tension along it. Gently massaging and stimulating your digestive organs. Now steady your gaze forward. Raise the arms, lift your pelvic floor, stand tall, take a breath in. Nice, and then exhale, let it go. Dance it out, shake it out. Release. Step the feet apart, top of your mat, hips distance parallel. Take a deep breath, sweep the arms forward and up. Big exhale, get as loud as you need, bend the knees and fold. 2 more, inhale. Let it go. Whoops. Inhale. And stay in the forward fold. You might like to sway the spine side to side, bend the knees loosely, shake the head, shimmy the arms. Just let it feel good for a few breaths. Re-steadying the breath through the nose. Plant your hands and knees on the ground. Stack your shoulders right above your wrists, spread the fingers wide. Hips right above the knees, parallel the shins. Feel the lift of your center as you look forward on the ground. Keep the hips balanced or squared and begin to raise the left leg straight behind you, flexing the toes downward. Feel a line of energy from your tailbone reaching towards inner left heel. Hug the hips towards the midline, lift the lower belly, rebound your weight off the floor through the left hand and begin to reach the right arm forward so that your upper arm aligns with your ear. Draw the shoulder back and balance your 2 hips, balance your 2 shoulders. Find length from the top of your head, tailbone to inner left heel. Reach and breathe. Stay here or add back stroking the right arm, bending the left knee and catching your left ankle or foot as you kick the leg towards straight while pulling it, coiling the chest open. Stay aware of your center and keeping it contained. Last couple of breaths, whatever variation you're playing with. Feel your body get lighter and lighter as you spring your weight off the ground with the left hand. Now, without slingshotting, re-extend left leg, right arm. Take a breath in here. And exhale, set hands and knees to the ground. Inhale, raise the left arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the left arm under the right bent elbow and rest the left side of your head all the way down. About 5 breaths here. Feel your 2 hips re-level as you find the twist happening across your waistline, rotating your ribcage gently as you broaden across your upper back and lengthen the sides of your neck. Breathe in, slow breath out. Last breath here. Root down and slowly lift the body back to all fours. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingers flat. Feel the center contain as you lift the navel towards the spine and elongate your chest forward. Steady breaths. Raise the right leg behind you, flexing the toes downward. Notice if the pelvis sways a little to the left. Bring it in like a typewriter. Remember those? Just bring the left hip back towards the center line. Keep lifting the lower belly. As you spring your weight off the right hand, explore raising the left arm forward so the upper arm aligns with your ear. Draw the left shoulder back and just like your hips, balance your 2 shoulders. Breathe. Feel the lift up by rooting down. Feel the length from top of the head, tailbone to inner right heel. Stay here or add, bending the right knee, back stroking the left arm to catch the right foot or ankle, and kicking the right leg towards straight as you pull it, using the counter forces to support your balance as you open the left side of your chest. Draw the navel in, feel the lift up. Last couple of breaths, whatever version. Slowly, without slingshotting, re-extend the right leg, re-extend the left arm, take a breath to lengthen, and exhale, carefully place hand and knee to the ground. Yeah, inhale, raise the right arm up. Exhale, thread it under your left bent elbow. Rest the right side of your head all the way down. 5 deep breaths. Feel the rebalancing of your 2 hips as you lengthen the spine from the pelvis. Feel the space within your neck while rotating the chest to the left. Breathe into the area behind your heart. Feel the backs of your lungs expand. One more breath here. Then gently press back to all fours. Let's take 1 minute for your choice of a heated inversion, which could be downward facing dog, dolphin pose, headstand, handstand, forearm balance. If you have a wall, you could use it. I'm going to walk you through dolphin. And then you can decide if you want to take 5 or so breaths in it, rest in child's pose, and then take it once or twice more. So if you're taking dolphin, place your 2 elbows in the ground, exactly shoulders distance. Either the forearms are parallel and the palms are face down, or you're interlacing your fingers, creating a triangular base. Remember, in dolphin, it's very similar to downward dog, but it's your forearms that are rooting down into the earth so that you can lift the shoulders back. So tuck the toes, lift the hips, and make sure that your shoulders don't shift in front of your elbows. They stay just on top or even slightly behind through the action of pressing the chest back towards your shins. Drawing the navel in to avoid hyper-arching of the lower back. You might walk the feet forward. You might raise a leg up for a few breaths, and maybe the second round, you switch. If you're raising the leg, try to keep your hips squared, connect to your midline, and flex the lifted foot. Feel space in your neck as you lift the shoulders away from it. Take your rest. You've got just another half a minute to go in whatever inversion you choose for a few breaths. And as you feel ready, let's meet in child's pose, in which you might give your shoulders a rest when you're there by releasing the arms back by your shins, giving the neck a gentle stretch by turning one ear to rest towards the ground, smoothing out the breath, then switching the opposite ear towards the ground if you're stretching your neck. We're going to move into a couple last heart-opening back bends, starting in camel pose. So press into the ground and begin to roll the spine slowly upright. And let's stand on our knees. If you need cushion for your knees, you can fold the mat thicker just underneath it. Separate your knees hips width apart and tuck your toes behind you, lifting the heels. Place your hands on your lower back with your fingertips pointing down. Keeping your pelvis directly above your knees, the entire posture is important for the support in your lower back. So draw the tailbone downward towards the ground between the knees and lift the back ribs up and feel the length of your lower spine. Bending the elbows closer together, begin to broaden your chest, steady your breaths. Right under your shoulder blades, feel the arch of your back, tilting the chest up as you roll the shoulder heads behind you and down. Open your throat, but try not to collapse the head all the way back. Now, as you stay here for your count of 5 or more breaths, deep breaths, imagine breathing through the heart center. You might try to reach for one heel, holding it like a baseball behind you, or both heels, just as long as you feel that you're keeping the lower back safe. There's no infringement in the space of the lower back. Lifting the chest. When you decide to come out of camel or ustrasana, place your hands on your lower back, engage your abdomen, and with an inhale, slowly roll your spine upright again. And from here, we'll take a moment in child's pose. Feet together, knees together or wide apart, stretch the arms forward for just about 3 breaths. Deep inhale. Stretching the lower back and broadening it. Exhale. Lengthening the sides of the neck, shoulder blades down the back. Tuning to your breathing, slither onto your stomach, coming all the way down with legs straight back. Lower your forehead to the earth as we prepare for Shalabhasana, locust pose, with an option to move into Dhanurasana, bow pose. This is our last back bend. So start with your knees close together so that in the posture they don't splay wider than hips distance. This is to support your lower back. Ground your pubic bone and reach the arms behind you off the floor, palms face down. Press the heels back while keeping your feet parallel and lift your legs off the floor, coiling the chest up to lift everything you can, counting 5 to 8 breaths. If you're moving into bow pose, bend your knees while staying lifted and catch your outer feet. Kicking your legs towards straight as you pull your feet, feel your knees rise, feel your heart rise, imagine breathing through it. Without cranking the neck, soften the face, feel the expansion of your lungs as you also open into the fronts of your hips and thighs. As we open the body, we help to release tension from the mind, finding clarity through the physical practice. When you decide to come down, rest completely. You might like to make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your head on top. You might like to shimmy the pelvis left and right to help release the lower back, or more actively bend the knees and gently swing the shins side to side. Now, as we lie in the belly, try breathing into the belly, giving it a massage with the help of the earth. Slow in breaths into the stomach, slower out breaths through the mouth, helping to cool down. As belly breathing is helpful also for relaxing the nervous system, as well as promoting digestion. And slide your hands beside your lowest ribs. Press your body upright to sit, bringing the legs in front of you. Extending the left leg forward, stepping the right foot either in front of the hip, setting up for a seated spinal twist. So the right foot can be here. If you want to go further into the twist, you can cross it to the outside of your left knee, Or you could also bend the left knee. Just make sure that your two sitting bones are evenly grounded. You can sit up tall. Backstroke your right hand just behind your pelvis, raise your left arm, and press into the ground as you breathe length up your spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Using the left arm, either hold your shin or hook your elbow outside the thigh. Breathe in, root into the ground again, and rise taller. Breathe out, continue to rotate your rib cage, like the earth globe spinning on the axis of your spine. Last 2 breaths. Feel the lightness of your shoulders as you lift your heart, relaxing your jaw, your tongue. At the end of this exhalation, unwind your spine, straightening the left leg forward. Cross the right thigh completely over the left for Ardha Gomukhasana. Flexing the left foot. If you have a strap, you can loop it around the ball of the foot and hold the strap with 2 hands. Otherwise, place your hands alongside your hips. Breathe in and sit tall. Breathe out, extend your heart forward and begin to crawl the hands forward little by little with each breath. Grounding your sitting bones, drawing the navel towards your spine, and broadening across your heart space as you open your throat. Last 3 breaths. This is a great posture to release any stiffness in the lower back that might come from sciatica. Opens up the hamstrings, broadens the sacrum. Lead with your chest. Breathe in to slowly lift your spine. Let's take the spinal twist on side 2. So straighten the right leg forward. Either step the left foot in front of the hip, cross it outside of the right knee if you like, maybe bend the right knee. Place the left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm. Firming down, breathe length through the spine. Exhale, twist to your left. Lower your right arm, either onto your shin or hooking the elbow outside your thigh. Press into the ground, breathe in, lift up, create space. Breathe out, feel the rotation of your rib cage globe spinning on the axis of your spine. Shoulder blades melting down the back ribs, heart floating up, bright and lifted. Last 2 breaths. At the end of this exhalation, unwind your spine and straighten your right leg. Cross your left thigh as much as you can over the right thigh, so perhaps your knees stack. Ground your sitting bones. Maybe you're using a strap around the right foot. Otherwise, place the hands on the floor alongside you. Flex the right foot, lift the spine, open the chest, and let the heart lead as you walk the hands forward. Breathing in, feel the earth beneath your pelvis, root into it. Feel the length of your spine. Breathing out, extend your heart forward. About 3 more breaths. Half cow face pose, Ardha Gomukhasana. Adding this left leg on top of the right leg here also gives a added compression for the belly. A little bit more to stimulate digestion. Good idea to finish this yoga practice today with drinking lots of warm water or even hot tea. Lead with your chest and inhale to slowly rise. Yeah, let's come down to the floor, lying on your back. So find a cooling inversion of your choice. If you have a wall, you could slide your hip against it and rest your legs entirely on the wall as you lie flat on the ground. If you have a chair or couch, you can rest your legs on top of that as well. Just any restful way of lifting your legs up higher than your heart to promote even more circulation, as well as to calm the nervous system more deeply. If you're practicing full shoulder stand or plow, be mindful of not putting any weight on your neck, making sure not to turn the head side to side once your pelvis is lifted off the floor. In your cooling inversion, take about 5 more very slow out breaths. You might even count backwards from 5 as you breathe in, from 7 as you breathe out, using the counting to also relax the mind. Now, if you're in legs up the wall or in some kind of supported posture, and you want to stay there for Shavasana, feel free not to move and enter Shavasana now. Otherwise, take any transitional movement or posture, maybe passing through Happy Baby or brief fish pose, which is great for counterbalancing shoulder stand, so that you can make your way down into a comfortable resting position for corpse pose. Closing your eyes as you find that still posture, take a slow inhalation. Imagine breathing through all ends of your body this time, not just the lungs or belly. Hold the breath in at the top, savor that feeling of fullness. Then savor the release, the whole process of arriving at emptiness, where you linger at the bottom. Then I invite you to try that one more time, that full breath in to all ends of your body, holding it in, then feeling a slow release and holding the breath out before letting go of controlling the breath. Feel your physical being supported by the ground, even by the air, as it circulates in and out through your lungs. With eyes still closed, notice the weight of your body touching what it's resting on. Feel your own body breathing, witnessing that. And with small movements, graduating into larger ones, start to wake up your body. Perhaps you'd like to turn over to the right side or rock and roll forward and back. Eventually, Make your way up to sit for 2 minutes in meditation. Find a posture that supports focus in the mind. Feeling naturally relaxed as you allow the breath to flow freely. Eyes closed or gazing at something. In your way of focusing your mind, choose an anchor to help steady it in the present. Whether you observe the breath, the feeling of it, count the breaths 10 at a time and start over again as a means of practicing concentration. Whatever your tool mentally, allow this 2 minutes of space to just tune in to the thought patterns that might surface in this practice of self-study. Allow a deep breath to enliven your lungs, lifting your heart as you join the palms to meet there. Bowing in observance of self, connecting to your inner being and source of truth. May our practice remind us of how much more connected we are, peeling the layers of separation, the illusion of. Let's close chanting one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.